So last week I was actually shocked when I read the news that Byju's actually were becoming one of the sponsors for FIFA World Cup that is going to happen in Qatar this year, right? As an Indian, I was also proud about the fact that an Indian brand um, was able to sponsor a tournament of this size, right? Um, and then, as a marketer, I was thinking about the reasons why Byju's was making these moves, right? So I was studying a lot about their brand and their plans of expansions and stuff like that, so that I could make this video, so that I can dissect maybe my viewpoint on why Byju's might be making this giant move, right? It's not IPL, it's not cricket or anything like that. It's a global sport in which 200, which is actually viewed by more than 200 countries in the world, and it's one of the biggest, um, you know, events of all, right? And it only happens once in 4 years' time, right? So it is a huge move, and let me try to explain why, in my opinion, Byju's is actually doing this, right? Uh, Number one, Byju's is not the first Indian brand to actually sponsor big international sports events. If you look at TCS and Infosys, they both are actually actively, uh, sponsoring big sports events. Like, if you look at TCS, they are investing about 40 million dollars annually to sponsor a lot of marathon events. Example, marathon that is being conducted in New York, in London. Everything is being sponsored by TCS, which is an Indian company, right? And if you look at Infosys, they are actually partnering with the Australian Open, and they are one of the major partners, right? But both of them are B2B companies. So and Byju's is a direct or B2C company, which is a totally different ball game. B2B, they don't want to appeal to everyone; they just want to appeal to a few decision makers, right? So, but you cannot compare marathons and Australian Opens with FIFA World Cup, right? So I'm just letting it out there. Indian brands like TCS and Infosys has already done it, and sometimes it could be the reason why TCS has been able to grow globally, right? As a brand, it was able to attract the attention of international audience, and you know how TCS is growing right now, right? Second point, I feel is very crucial is because Byju's has recently, I think 1 year ago, launched something called Byju's Future School, right? Uh, so basically, it's Byju's Future School is an international expansion of Byju's, right? And they are launching in countries like United States, UK, Brazil, Indonesia, Mexico, right? So they are going global with Byju's Future School, right? And um, and they are also acquiring a lot of edtech startups based out of US and other countries, right? So it is very clear that they are expanding beyond India. So if you want to go beyond India, FIFA is a very good space for you to go, right? And if you look at these countries, United States, UK, especially UK, Brazil, Mexico, are all huge markets for FIFA World Cup, or a lot of people there consume or are fans of football, right? So that could also be one of the reasons why they would have picked FIFA as the best platform, right? Um, Third one, expat population in Middle East, right? Um, so India has uh, about uh, I think it's 13.6 million Indians actually live outside India, right? And the largest portion live in the Middle East, and it's about 7 million people from India actually live in Middle East, and those 7 million are actually kind of one of the most perfect target audiences for Byju's, because most of them might be settled in the Middle East and might have the income levels that Byju's is targeting, right? Maybe those would be the ideal parents that has the money to buy Byju's, right? So and this World Cup is actually happening in Qatar. So there is no other way to impress those parents there, um, to take in, or and it will give immense credibility to Byju's. And also, it's not just parents, their idea. The end consumer of Byju's is actually students, right? And students, most probably 80 or 70% of the students would be die-hard sports fan, either it be cricket or football, right? So they already have dominated cricket by sponsoring Indian cricket team, and right now they're going to football, right? So when it comes to the user perspective also, they would absolutely love a brand who's sponsoring the World Cup, right? So it's a win-win for them. And fourth one, taking it globally and making a statement, right? Even if some brands make the bold move of sponsoring IPL or sponsoring the Indian cricket team, Byju's can always say that, hey, we are even bigger and we are global because we are actually sponsoring FIFA, right? We have FIFA with us, so IPL and cricket and everything will not be a comparison for FIFA, right? So it's a statement that Byju's is making, that they have actually gone global, and it's actually how brands from Korea, China, Japan actually entered the global markets by sponsoring um, giant events like FIFA, right? So this could be one among the first Indian brands to actually enter global markets. Almost like the same way how Korean and Japanese or Chinese companies did earlier, right? And the fifth one is that they recently got a pre-IPO funding of 800 million USD, right? And when I checked it, the cost for this sponsorship would be around 30 to 40 million, which is about 400 crore. But it's not even 10%. It's just 5% of the funding that they recently got in. And I'm not even talking about the earlier rounds of funding, right? The latest round of funding, they got 800 million, and they just utilized 5% of it to sponsor FIFA, right? And they are right now valued at about 22 billion dollar USD, right? So in terms of spending, it's not a huge, or I don't think it will push Byju's into a financial crunch or anything like that. It's they do have the money with it because of the recent funding that they've raised. Sixth one, it could also be a move for investors, right? This could be a statement saying that we are going big, and it could also send a signal to the investors, saying that, hey, invest in us. We are a global brand, and we are nobody is going to stop us, right? We are going um, uh, global, and we are the biggest players in this field, and we are just uh, in our early stages right now. So it wouldn't, or sometimes giant sponsorships or things like that wouldn't only be aimed at getting consumers, but also making an impact globally and impressing the investors, and getting that attention of the entire world, right? So yeah, so these are the 6 pointers that I think might have influenced their decision for sponsoring FIFA World Cup, right? So you can point out your comments in the comment section below, and if you like the video, please share it, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. So I'll be coming up more marketing videos every week. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.